If you feel like you're doing everything right, you've got the ambition, you've got the drive, you've got taste, you've got the intelligence, and somehow people are still overlooking you, this video will change that, guaranteed. Because being talented is not enough anymore. Even being seen is not enough anymore. Being visible isn't enough anymore by itself. You have to become so bloody good at something that the world cannot physically ignore you. I'm going to show you exactly how I went from having a family thrifting budget of $7 to Yves Saint Laurent sending me PR, and Dior inviting me to their events, Vogue publishing my work, and Harvard Business Review inviting me to their advisory council. And I will refuse to sit here and say it was all luck. It was years and years of building skills. It was learning how to build undeniable proof. By the end of this video, mark my words, you will have learned how to do the same. How to build a life so well designed that opportunities have no choice but to find you. Because once you're that good at something, you stop chasing success. You stop caring about it because it starts chasing you and starts finding you. Here's the problem. Hear me out. Everyone wants to be seen. Nobody wants to be good. We live in a time where everyone is chasing visibility before they're ready or before they're good at anything at all. Everyone is obsessed with virality. Visibility has become a bigger drug than competence. And frankly, I get it. The internet rewards speed, but it rewards noise, not nuance. The truth is, when you get what you want before you're ready, it's a curse. It's like shining a spotlight on a painting that's not finished. And being seen before you're good is the fastest way to burn out. And if you ever felt like you're working your ass off and people still overlook you, you're not behind. That means you're still working on yourself. You're still sharpening your tools. You're still sharpening yourself because the world still bows to mastery. When you're actually good at something, anything, multiple things, visibility just becomes a side effect. So for me, before all the PR packages, before Vogue, before Harvard, before the podcast interviews, my family and I were literally poor, dead broke, immigrants, and I was desperately trying to build something from nothing. I'd spend nights photographing random shit that I thought looked good with my camera that I saved up years for, under kitchen lighting, thinking it looked so amazing, thinking I was so professional, which is okay. Then I'd zoom in and realize every photo was orange. I cried for 10 minutes and then I googled white balance and learned lighting from scratch. That one meltdown taught me more than all of my psychology courses ever taught me. That same year, Tom Florio, and if you don't know who he is, he's a Vogue executive. He's a former Vogue executive. Followed my photography account. So that's kind of where my career started. I started off in photography. And he followed my photography account a week after I had watched a Vogue documentary with him in it. I remember staring at my phone like, wait, what? I know who this is, and he just followed my photography account. After that, I reached out to him and I sent him a DM and we arranged an interview even though I'm in Canada and he's in the States. And he asked me, and during that interview I was showing him some of my portfolio and my photos, and he asked me if I had a work visa for the States to come work for his magazine. Imagine. I didn't. I was 21 at the time. I didn't know anything. I didn't understand how any of that worked. But just the fact that I had that opportunity in my lap meant something. And it was not luck, it was skill. Let me tell you that much. It was pure skill. Skill has a frequency. When you finally start producing at a certain level, people will tune in. And a few months later, my work was published in Vogue. I've been published in Vogue both as a model and a photographer. People called it lucky, I called it literacy. That's when I began to learn how excellence works. Being beautiful is so temporary, but being skilled and knowledgeable will last you your entire life. That's something that nobody, nothing can take away from you. Imagine there are two women inside of every ambitious girl like yourself. The dreamer, she wants to be chosen. The builder, she learns how to choose herself. The dreamer believes in luck. The builder believes in literacy and skill. The dreamer wants ease. The builder wants excellence. I used to be the dreamer. One viral video away, one big break away. But the day I stopped waiting around and started building proof of my skills, everything changed. And let me tell you, the new me is very hard to ignore. In my eyes, there are 4 laws of magnetic skills. Number 1 is depth over display. Everyone wants the aesthetic. No one wants to understand what makes things beautiful. They want the look of excellence without the understanding, without the education. When I couldn't afford fancy gear, I studied how light works. I studied storytelling. I studied why brands sell the way that they do. I studied consumer behavior. I studied behavioral economics. I would use aluminum foil as a reflector, film near a window, and analyze how light behaves. You cannot skip the fundamentals and expect luxury results. Number 2 is skill stacking. I became dangerous when I stopped trying to be perfect at one thing and I started being fluent in many things. Design, marketing, writing, selling, web development, behavioral economics, psychology, sales, art direction. People, even family, were telling me, you're doing so much for nothing. None of these skills have any value. None of this makes any sense. None of it will be worth it. You know what I said? I said, just wait. You don't need to be everything. You just need to be irreplaceable. And in this day and age, it's hard, but it's possible. Most people separate art and analytics, but I merged both. I learned how to make things beautiful and how to make them convert. That is what makes you unstoppable. Not just being the prettiest, but being the most skilled and prepared. Number 3 is visible mastery. You don't need to brag. You just need the receipts. When my company sold out multiple products in our first drop, I did not post some motivational quote or some video talking about what success means. I shared the sold out screen, the crowd photos, the wait lists. I didn't need to scream. My work spoke for me. And your work should always speak louder than you ever could. Number 4, you need to detach from the applause. The real shift happened when I stopped performing for the claps. I stopped needing to explain my vision to people who didn't have one. My validation now comes from my skills. And that quiet feeling when you finish something and think that feels right and that's clean, this feels right, and this is an example of my skills. Because when your self-worth lives in your skill set, no one can touch it. Not your boss, not your friends, not your family, not your haters, not the algorithm, not a bad month. No one, nothing. Peace hits different when you've earned it through being skilled. And that brings me to how people love to say, you are so lucky. But luck is what people call other women's success when they don't want to admit that that woman has earned it. It's easier to say she got lucky than to have to face the fact that she studied while you scrolled. I was not discovered. I spent years and years and years developing skills in pure silence. When everyone was against me, when nobody understood what I was doing and why I was doing it. Even my own family. Every brand, every deal, every panel, and I've been on 6 business panels this year and 1 tech panel this year alone. I built a bridge to it, one unglamorous, boring skill at a time, disciplined skill at a time. And one thing about the universe is it rewards women who build themselves. And when success finally arrived, it wasn't loud. It's calm mornings, no alarm clocks, paid invoices, people introducing me like I was someone they admired. I thought success was gonna feel like fireworks and yachts. What it feels like peace, and maybe that's the point. But that being said, if you want to be unignorable and undeniable, stop chasing attention, chase skill, chase being good at something. Get so good that when people think of a category, they think of your name. The world can ignore anything and everything, but the world cannot ignore excellence. Beauty will fade, trends will always fade, your skills and knowledge will remain forever. Thank you so much for watching, and if you liked this video, I would love if you liked and subscribed.